This right here is a $600 gaming PC that looks absolutely amazing, plays any game that I want at 1440p, and my absolute favorite thing about this build is that I can make money off this thing. But before it looked this good, it looked like this. We got a lot of work to do. So obviously, in order to build a $600 gaming PC that will rival $1,200 pre-built systems that you buy from like Best Buy and Walmart, we're gonna need some used parts. How am I supposed to get this thing to stay? There we go. Now for today's build, I found an extremely good combo deal for a motherboard, CPU, RAM, and cooler locally in my area, and I got all this for $120. And for that $120, we got ourselves some pretty sweet gear here, starting off with an ASUS TUF Z490 motherboard. We have 32 gigs of DDR4 4400 mega transfers per second RAM. We have an Intel i7-10700K CPU, and we have this 280mm AIO. And when I found this deal, I simply had to pick it up because it's perfect for our Build Up Challenge series. You know, that little series that we do where we build and sell gaming PCs until I've earned enough money to build a top tier gaming PC that is absolutely amazing and unlike anything anyone's ever seen before, and then I just, you know, casually give it to one of you guys. And I mean, even if you don't need a PC, this is a pretty fun series. You should probably subscribe because we have a lot of fun here. Now, because we have $1,744 in total amount of money earned so far this season, we have plenty of funds to transform this nasty, dirty mess into an absolutely epic gaming PC. And rather than go over each and every single little piece of hardware, what I would rather do is throw on some kick-ass music and do a little build montage of us putting this thing together. And after we have successfully built this system, we'll go over a little bit of gameplay, and then I'm gonna ask you to help me come up with the list price on how much we're going to try and sell our finished build for. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. hate getting my blood taken. So obviously, she looks pretty good now. I gotta say, she cleans up pretty nice. For the specs, we have the Z490 motherboard and the 10700K CPU, but you guys already knew that. Now, the RAM that's in here, the 4400 megatransfers per second RAM, I was not able to get the full speed out of that RAM. This CPU motherboard's just not having it. There's no way I could get it to post. But I was able to drop it down to 4000 megatransfers per second, and it works just fine. We have full stability from our RAM. I also added in a 1TB NVMe, a 3070 Ti graphics card, the last of the 3070 Ti graphics cards that I picked up for $280 a pop. I had 3 of them. I have a 750 watt power supply in here, and we popped in a brand new 360mm AIO by Deepcool. I think it looks way better than the 280mm AIO that came with the combo. Oh, and an ass ton of fans. I really love these ring fans by Thermalright. They're really clean looking. It adds a nice pop of RGB, but it doesn't overload the system. Now, I will put a price list up here for you guys, but the grand total of this PC did come out to $603. And I think that for the looks of this PC and the performance from this system, $603 is a darn good deal. But speaking of performance, you guys do need to know what this PC is capable of so that you guys can help me come up with a list price of what we're gonna try and sell this system for. So I tested all the gameplay today at both 1080p and 1440p using the exact same settings for both resolutions. And starting out with Marvel Rivals at the game's maximum graphics setting, at 1080p we were able to get an average of 85 FPS. And when we switched over to 1440p, our average FPS was 63, and the gameplay looked and felt absolutely amazing. In Black Ops 6, at the game's maximum graphical setting and running the game's included benchmarking software, at 1080p we were getting an average of 112 FPS, and when we made the switch over to 1440p, we were getting an amazing 83 FPS average. In Horizon Zero Dawn, also at the game's maximum graphical setting, at 1080p we were getting an average of 113 FPS, and when we made the switch over to 1440p, our average FPS only drops down to 94. Now, kicking it up a notch, I tested Clair Obscura Expedition 33, and I set the graphics preset to high and DLSS to quality. Now, we were getting an average of 98 FPS at 1080p, and when we switched over to 1440p, this game looks so damn good, getting us an average of 71 FPS. And lastly, I played Doom: The Dark Ages because it is my current game of choice. And at the game's Ultra preset, we're seeing an average of 86 FPS at 1080p. And when we switched over to 1440p, we're getting an average of 62. Now, as I said in the past, I push these systems as hard as they could possibly go. If you were to tweak these settings even a little bit, you could probably get way more FPS out of the system, and you could get even more FPS out of the system if you overclock the CPU and the GPU. But I don't overclock systems that aren't gonna belong to me for very long. I'll let the new owner decide if he wants to overclock it or not. But speaking of new owners, I'm gonna need your help coming up with a list price on this system. You have seen how well the system performs, and you have seen how good this system looks. What do you guys think we should sell this system for? Please run down to the comment section and let me know what you think a fair price would be for this system. I do take the average of all of your suggestions, and that's how I come up with the price that I do list the system on Facebook Marketplace for. The whole series is about building a gaming PC that's gonna eventually belong to one of you guys. It only makes sense that you would have an input on what we sell the computers for. Now, if you did have a little bit of fun here with me today, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I always love having new friends. And while you're down there, please smash that like button. It helps me out tremendously. And as always, no matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are having the most fantastic day, and I'm gonna see you right here for the next video.